Hello, differential equations. Today is March 18th, and I'm going over section 1.3 of the book. I might do this in a couple parts. So section 1.3, I encourage you to read all of it. This thing about the RC current here, where you got your battery, your resistance, which could be like a light bulb, a toaster, whatever, and a capacitor, and current running that direction. You're going to see that a lot. It's going to be reoccurring. So you definitely want to focus on reading this and trying to figure out what's going on with that. Then, again, all of this sort of physics 2 sort of stuff is good to read over. Let me know if you have any questions about that, but I want you to read it first. And then most of this section is about direction fields. And so a direction field is like this, where you create, from a differential equation, you know a bunch of different slopes depending on where t is and y of t is. And then based on where things start out, something starting out in green follows those arrows and eventually goes there, or something starting out in blue would go there, and something starting out red would go there. And so direction fields can be really useful, especially for you for visualizing what's going on. And so this is a direction field for y squared over 2. And you can create them with Sage as well, which is nifty. So I want you to try that. And then what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go through doing activity 131. I'm only going to do part A by hand, and then I'll just show you the answers. I've linked to the answers on Moodle already. So I'll just kind of show you how you might do part A by hand, and then it doesn't really benefit you to watch me doing these. It benefits you for you to try them and then check how your attempts match up with the answers. So let's do part A. So part A, so we've got y prime equals y minus 2x. And we'll also plot 2 initial conditions, so 2 actual solutions. So what you need to do here is, it doesn't tell us what size window to do it. But I do know that I have to include the y values of 1 and 4 and the t value of 0. So I guess what we could do here is you need to kind of, if you're doing this completely by hand, you would make a chart of, say, x values and y values and the slope for every pair of x and y values. And if you're lazy, like me, you might think, that sounds like something a spreadsheet could do, and you'd be right. So let's create a new Google Sheet. Let me just double check that I have it's y minus 2x. Okay, so I'll have my y values up here. So I don't know, y could be from -2, -1, 4, maybe let's go past 4, 6, and x values, I know I have to include 0, so I'll just go on both sides of 0. -2, -1, maybe like that. We'll see what happens here. So then this equals y minus 2 times x. Nope, x value's there. Let me just write it so it's x, y, so that I remember the x values are down here, y values are on the top. And then I'll just do this and do this. Oh, there's some big numbers, okay. And then, oh dear, that's because I didn't do it right. Come on, Dr. Johnson. All right, so now what you need to do is I want letters to change here, but the number 1 to stay the same. And then here, I want the numbers to change, but the letter to stay the same. And then let's try that again. That looks better. So for instance, when y is 0 and x is 0, it's 0. And when y is 2 and x is 1, it's 0. So then these are the slopes of everything we're plotting. So now I'm going to be looking at that as all these numbers as I try to make a slope plot. So now I'll have you guys, this is a lot. Maybe this is too much for a hand-drawn one. So these numbers look high, which means you don't need to have, let's just, those are going up. Okay, so I don't think we need, let's just see how things go. So I'm going to then pull up this guy, and I'm going to resize this so I can see my numbers. And here I need to, it's going to be my best solution here. I'm just having trouble having kind of a split screen. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Split screen. That's better. Okay, I just need these things to be a little closer together. Let's format those columns. Okay, so these numbers, resize columns to be like 30. Much better. Okay. So then, there we go. Now it's time to draw. So I'm going to make x is going from -2 to 2. Y is going from, see, I think I did my spreadsheet backwards here. Silly. All right, so my y's are going from -2 to 6. So it's going to be, so 6 be up here. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then let's do our x values every 3. So we'll do -2 there, -1 there, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay, so then we're graphing inside this rectangle. Now you might wonder, why are we even doing this by hand when Sage will do it for us? And it's kind of like, why do people exercise when they can drive in cars? Well, sometimes being in good shape is good for you. That's why we're doing it by hand. This is getting your mind in shape. And it's just like exercise. It can be boring and tedious and feel like a waste of time, but you'll eat better for it. All right, so this is dumb that I did it translated. So, so when x is -2, my slopes are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I didn't go down far enough. Guys, come on. We have 1. -2. Nobody's here to correct me, so I can give them a gold star. I have to correct myself. It's awful. All right, now, so that was, all right, then at -2, it's all that. When x is -1, the slopes are more interesting because they're not all positive. So when x is -1, the slopes are 0, 1, 2, so on and so forth. So once I get to past like 4, it's hard to draw how steep they are. Just steep. Okay. And then at 0, you've got -2 and -1 and 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then at 1, you've got -4, -3, -2, -1. So -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally, at 2, we have -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so that's how you would hand draw a slope field. And now let's go back to our, let's see, what were our initial conditions here for our activity? The initial conditions were y of 0 equals 4 and y of 0 equals 1. So when y of 0 equals 4, let's use some different colors. I bought special colors just for this such occasion. When y of 0 equals 4, it's going real steep and just zipping off the page. And when y of 0 equals 1, it's going, starting out here, and it's going also steep. And that's, oh guys, come on, those are the wrong ones. Because that's not 0, that's -2. Another gold star if you caught that. Y of 0 is 4, starts here. So we can match it going forward, going that way. Also match it backwards, which is also interesting to do something like that. And then y of 0 equals 1 is right here. And that goes, given my hard drawing, it's kind of hard to see because I don't have enough tick marks. Y of 0 equals 1 would be, so then you got there, it's flat, and here it's flat. So it's above where it's flat. And so then it's going to be more than 1 after this, because it's, no, I think it might, looks like it might do that. Kind of, I don't know. Let's go to the actual answer to that and find out. So let's see, where did I post the answers to this? I posted the answers in Moodle, but basically they all go to here. So that's what you should have had, roughly that. So it matches it, okay. So it's like the analogy about like going for a run based on driving in a car, like this looks better. You didn't get any exercise out of it, you didn't get any smarter from looking at it, but you got there. So that's activity 131. I invite you to try the other ones, and the answers, as I said, are posted on Moodle.